issue, I think I mentioned that earlier at the college. And most of the girls, when young ladies in the class, were talking about being abused. Now, it's all right to be in the adult phase. I understand that. I'm talking about in that area where they talk about the boyfriends and abusing them and what have you. It's all right to start off. You can't say the show be as a role model. I believe in that. But if you beyond that, where there are no role models, to work with those young men that are talking about 18, 19, 20 years of age, that are out there abusing these young ladies, because this is the biggest issue that they will talk about in class, about the boyfriends abusing them. The guys are there with abusing. And you know that we've talked about anger management, etc. Larry, you yourself, you've been to my classes and tried to talk to some of them, to my classes about these type of things. I want to know, anyone can tell me, what are the steps that you need to talk about in working with these young men that's in the 18, 19, 20 years of age that are abusing their girlfriends and they're coming to classes and telling it?
That's definitely your third question over here.
I don't know if I have all the answers. And this may not even be politically correct or sensitive. I think that one of the things, gentleman made a statement a few moments ago in the men's session about change starts in the. Could you say that before I make my comment? Because it may help. It might sound good.
I tell my clients that change is not in the voice that's speaking, it's in the heart that's listening.
Don't write that quote down. While we know that a young man abuses a young lady, first of all, verbally, before he does physical violence, I think one of the greater problems is for her to allow that to happen. That just like we mentor our boys to respect women, I think that we have to mentor our daughters to respect and to love themselves enough that you don't allow people to say and do certain things to you all around you. That because everybody else is doing it and because it appears to be the norm that to call, I mean, this is my dog, this is my hoe, this is, you know, I mean, and for you to think that's okay, I think the female has some responsibility in saying, you know, that offends me. I mean, that may be popular. Help me understand what you mean by if that does not mean what I think it means, help me understand what that means, because that's very offensive to me. So I think part of the responsibility is with the young lady. That I have to demand a certain amount of self-respect.
I just want to go over what you're saying. I'm struggling with the definition of submissive. I think that's comfortable for me. Like, how do I be submissive, but also say, okay, this is what I expect. Just the support. Like, I don't know what the definition of what a woman should be for her.
That might not be something that we can
I mean, it's
address
different
right now,
definition.
you know, just tell what the controls are.
No, I'm going with what you're saying to be able to not accept it because you think that it's normal. You know what I mean?
So you're saying that women, how do we teach women to understand that how they can be submissive and not be beat up, or what?
To not allow the man to go into like the verbal abuse.
understanding is Bridget Field.
Okay, again, I haven't met a woman yet that lets or allow a man to do anything. And men, you put it back on us again. You are in control of your own behavior. You need to stop looking at, I'm sorry. You need to stop looking to the woman to, if she does what she's supposed to do, is that supposed to put you in line? No, you come correct first. Okay, if you come the way you're supposed to come as a man and treat us with respect, that's what you're gonna get back. But if you're expecting us to say to you, ooh, your behavior is out of order. No, you knew that when you came and you stepped up to us, you knew it was out of order. If you say, hey, shorty, come here. You know that's not her name. Hi, ma'am. How are you doing? Can I, speak to you? But to keep continuing to put it on us, that's not fair. Men, you need to stand up and be me. And I called you out on that.
Can I respond again?
I think Becky had, like, this year, her question, like,
I was just going to say, in teaching young girls and young men, I think one of the things that we need to do, those of us who have any influence over a young person, is, let's caution them on the music that they listen to, because a lot of the hip-hop music promotes violence against women, and the girls, unfortunately, think that's kind of cute, if they're being referred to in derogatory terms. And the guys, they have become accustomed to them accepting it. So if, my kids are grown now, so I don't have to monitor what they listen to, but I think that's the first step in promoting self-respect. First of all, a man who respects himself is not going to refer to a woman in that way. And neither is a girl who respects herself going to accept that. But I think it's been glamorized too much. And so now it's just become part of the culture that this is cool,
My comment was in no way to indicate that he has no responsibility for being out of order, because he does. He has absolute responsibility. What I think we do sometimes is we assume that people know what they don't know. That dysfunctionality shows up in such strange ways that if I've grown up in a culture that used profanity and violence against women as the norm, for me that is normal. And for me to know that it's not normal is going to require someone to model something different for me to open up another awareness. And I think the woman can help a man listening to it, in all fairness. Anybody who sees that, if I were a man seeing that, I think I have a responsibility to call a young man. I did that 5 days ago. I was in, put my life at risk, but I was in a restaurant and a young man dogged a young lady out that way. He said, it's offensive to me for you to treat this lady this way. She turns around and she says, I'm sure glad you told him that. I've been trying to tell him that all along. But the fact is, we have to model what change needs to look like sometimes. And I think the woman sometimes has to lead in helping a man do